Thingkho Le Malcha, by KSO Media and Documentation Cell. Issue number 33. Saturday, October 14, 2023. Headlines. Media reports on Kuki militants attacking police convoy in Thingkho is fake, fabricated. Lie is associated with Meiteis, the lying Songhai Express exposed. Manipur police arrests KYKL active member. Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi slams Biren Singh government over ban on sharing human tragedy stories. Manipur government violates fundamental rights to free expression, says Saket Gokhale. Manipur Rights Panel asks government to expedite probe of incidents, recover looted arms, deport immigrants. The Oath Keeper of Kengla Mr. Sanajaba, his Arambai Tengal and their Reign of Terror. A series on humanitarian work 03 Rural Women Upliftment Society, RWUS. Media reports on Kuki militants attacking police convoy in Thingkho is fake, fabricated. The Kuki Inpi Thingkho, KIT, has clarified that the media reports on police convoy being attacked by suspected Kuki militants in Thingkho district on October 12 evening is fake and fabricated. In a press release issued on Saturday, the Kuki Inpi Thingkho outrightly rejected the media reports of Kuki militants attacking a convoy of Additional Superintendent of Police, Thingkho, TS Chamna MPS, on his way between Lok Chau, Tuipi Mate, to Saibong Kuding Thabi village at around 5 p.m. on October 12. Also, the Saibong Kuding Thabi Village Authority in Lok Chau, Tuipi Mate, Village Authority have also vehemently denied the alleged attack on police convoy in their jurisdictional area and clarified that the media report was totally wrong. The village authorities also stated that workers of SKV Infra Limited engaged in the construction of roads also corroborated the fact that not a single gunshot sound was heard. The Kuki Inpi Thingkho alleged that the news report was based on the report of additional SP, Thingkho, TS Chamna, who has hidden motives to malign the image and reputation of Kukizo community of Thingkho district. This action of instigating violence on innocent people in the name of peace, law and order by means of fake propaganda exposes their evil intention to bring in more state forces/police commandos in Thingkho district, it said. The Kuki apex body of Thingkho asserted that deployment of Meitei security forces including police commandos in Moor Town and Thingkho district is not at all helpful in maintaining peace and law and order. The Meitei security forces including the police commandos were an agent of hatred, violence and fake propagandist between the public and central security forces in Moor and Thingkho district. As such their withdrawal from Moor and Thingkho district is highly required, added KIT. Meanwhile, Saibong Kuding Thabi Village Authority in Lok Chau, Tuipi Mate, Village Authority expressed shock over the claim circulating on social media platforms that a police-turned-traveling in a gypsy was fired upon by armed miscreants from a hillock between Lok Chau, Tuipi Mate, Bridge and Saibong Kuding Thabi Village while on their way to Moor. The village authorities made it clear that the alleged ambush site was situated very close to the village habitational area and such an alleged incident occurring in silence, without being heard by any person nearby, is indeed shocking. Such an alleged violent incident cannot happen in silence and the report made by various media outlets is unacceptable to the people. It is viewed as an attempt to tarnish the image of both the villages, said the village authorities. The village authorities appealed one and all to refrain from disseminating such false information in future which could have lethal repercussions in the already volatile situation of the state. Denying occurrence of the incident, the chairman of Unified Command, Mr. Kuldeep Singh, while briefing to the media on Friday, also said that he only got the information of the reported incident from a news report on Thursday. In response to a media query regarding the casualty of security forces due to the reported incident, Kuldeep Singh said he did not have any idea. Casualty in security forces is not a normal thing and that is not happening every day, he added. Lie is associated with Meiteis, the lying Songhai Express exposed. There is a saying that goes, Meitei Haying, which literally translates into English as Meiteis tomorrow, a phrase commonly used in Meitei Kanglipak for centuries to indicate their habitual lying connotation. As the saying goes, lie is associated with Meiteis. From top of their leaderships to the bottom, the Meiteis spread lies after lies, apparently maintaining the famous Nazi propaganda, repeat a lie often enough it becomes the truth, especially since the beginning of the genocide against Kukizos on May 3, 2023. In spreading wrong information, the Meitei media outlets are no exception. They are famous for indulging in outright misrepresentation of facts, thereby feeding the Meitei populace with false and biased information, deliberately distorting the truth in favor of one community and against the other community. It is public knowledge by now that certain individuals within the Métis community have been modifying the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum, ITLF's press statements, distorting the truth and spreading misinformation. What is even more concerning is that an info-based newspaper, namely, the Songhai Express, owned and published by Nishakant Sapam, MLA from Kishamthong AC, in this particular case, has been seen picking up the falsified press release and publishing it as factual news, without conducting the necessary due diligence that is expected from media houses and journalists to do. In October 11th issue of the newspaper, the Songhai Express reported a news story in the front page under the headline, "After Tangjing to Tangting, change of names to Kukinai's morgue comes to the fore," wherein the alleged ITLF press statement was mentioned, which turned out to be a fake press release created mischievously by the Métis themselves. No wonder, the largest circulating newspaper in the state, the Songhai Express, had to stoop so low as to spread Métis lies regarding name changes. There are many locations, places, or buildings, owned or inhabited by the Kukizo people before May violence in Impal, now changed into the Métis favorable names. For instances, Hoikim is now changed into Quakithal Ningthamkal, Vishal Mega Mart building in Chiangmairong is now changed into Amoyna Complex, and many others. It is to be noted that the names Lamka, Sompi, Tuthafai, etc. are the indigenous tribals calling names for Churchan per district since ages, even before the Métis king, Chirachand, came into this world. Tangting too is the name called by the indigenous Kukizo for the hilltop since ages. This constant spreading of lies and propaganda by the valley-based media outlets thus vindicated the fact-finding report of the Editors Guild of India, EGI. It served to confirm the findings of the EGI, which have shed light on the unethical practices employed by Métis newspapers/electronic media such as Songhai Express, Impal Free Press, HY News, Impal Times, ISTV, Impact TV, News 18 and many others. These publications have been known to concoct stories, engage in one-sided reporting, and promote a divisive and communal agenda. The implications of such reportages are far-reaching and deeply concerning. The press, often referred to as the fourth pillar of India's democracy, plays a crucial role in upholding the principles of transparency, accountability, and truth. Manipur police arrests KYKL active member. Manipur police has arrested one active member of a Métis separatist group Kongle Yawal Kondalup, KYKL, from Impal West District, who was involved in extortion from general public. As per police source, one 9mm pistol with one magazine loaded with 7 live rounds, one mobile phone and 60,000 rupees, extortion money, were recovered from the possession of the KYKL cadre. Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi slams Biren Singh government over ban on sharing human tragedy stories. Assam Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi has slammed the Bharatiya Janata Party-led Manipur government for prohibiting the sharing of stories related to human tragedy, at a time when the Indian media is deliberating about the horrific pictures emerging from Israel and Palestine. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, the deputy leader of Congress in Lok Sabha, Gogoi, on Friday said, while Indian media is discussing the horrific pictures emanating from Israel-Palestine, the BJP in Manipur has forbidden sharing stories of human tragedy. The MP from Assam's Kaliabor constituency also hit out at the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying it was an attempt by the Saffron Party to cover up its failures. This is another attempt to cover up the failures of the BJP. PM Modi would never have spoken if the truth was hidden, Gogoi added in his post on X. In his post, Gogoi also shared an order issued by the Manipur Home Commissioner, T. Ranjit Singh, on Wednesday, October 11th, prohibiting the sharing of videos, images, and pictures depicting violent activities in the strife-torn state through social media platforms. Manipur government violates fundamental rights to free expression, says Saket Gokhale. Regarding the circular issued by Government of Manipur dated November 10, 2023 banning the people of Manipur from sharing of videos of violence and destruction in the state on social media platforms, Saket Gokhale, AITCC spokesperson and MP, Rajya Sabha, has written to the Government of Manipur stating that the circular was clearly a violation of the fundamental right to free expression guaranteed under Article 19 of the Constitution of India. Through his letter, Gokhale has requested T. Ranjit Singh, Commissioner, Home, Government of Manipur, to respond the grounds for the issue of the circular and the relevant laws/rules under which its provisions have been issued, and to clarify how such circular will not penalize or punish those who are sharing the reality of the situation on the ground in Manipur with the rest of India. Listing points to be noted by the Government of Manipur before citing grounds of reasonable restrictions for justifying the ban, the Trinamool Congress MP laid down that the entire country found out about the shocking incident incident of the rape and mass parading of women in Manipur through a video on social media almost over 1.5 months after the incident happened. No FIR had been filed till then, and the chief minister himself expressed shock only after the video came out, he said. He also said that the people of India have the right to know the ground reality of what is going on in the state of Manipur. Thanks to the inaction of the government of Manipur, the only independent information that the public is able to access is through videos and reports from ordinary people of Manipur and through the sporadic media reports. The aforementioned circular does not clarify under what law/rules it has been issued, and neither does it state whether independent journalists and social activists in Manipur sharing videos and images of the situation on the ground will also be censored and prosecuted criminally as stated by the circular, Gokhale said. Prima facie, it appears that the primary motivation behind the aforementioned circular is to prevent the criticism of the inaction of the government of Manipur and to impose censorship purely to avoid any embarrassment to the state government, he alleged. Manipur Rights Panel asks government to expedite probe of incidents, recover looted arms, deport immigrants. The Manipur Human Rights Commission, MHRC, recommended the state government to expedite all the investigations being carried out in connection with ethnic violence that broke out since May 3 and to recover the looted thousands of arms and ammunition from the police armories during the riot. Besides the Manipur police, the Manipur government has handed over many cases to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, and the National Investigation Agency, NIA. Government should also take up necessary action to expedite the process of identification and deportation of illegal immigrants who entered the territory of India without any valid documents, the MHRC recommendations said. The MHRC, headed by its chairperson Justice Apolenda Bikas Saha, RETD, visited many districts of Manipur including Kaching, Tengnupal, Bishnupur, Kamjong, Impal East and Impal West and met the thousands of displaced people sheltered in the relief camps in these districts. Commission sources said that the MHRC chairperson, after talking with the distressed and violence-affected people, learnt their miseries, basic requirements, difficulties and opinions. Justice Saha, during his visit to the troubled districts, also discussed the prevailing situations with various non-government organizations of both Meitei and Kuki communities. On the basis of the information, scarcities of the relief camp inmates, difficulties, suggestions, grievances acquired during the visit of the MHRC team, the Rights Panel made 9 points recommendations to Manipur Chief Secretary Vineet Joshi. The MHRC suggested that the government should provide 50,000 rupees to those students who sustained severe injuries, as announced by the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, if not done yet. Regarding the quantum of compensation for other injured persons, how much compensation is going to be paid, the Commission may be informed as they are also entitled compensation according to their injury, it said. The Rights Panel also suggested the Health Department make arrangements for a staff nurse to visit the relief camps on a daily basis and to provide essential medicines to the displaced people, including those medicines as and when the consulting doctor prescribes. Noting the efforts of the government in recovering arms and ammunition which were looted during the ethnic violence from police armories in Churchandpur gun house, the MHRC further reiterated that the government should take up further necessary action to recover arms and ammunition from any unauthorized person, including extremists, as such arms may be used for extortion and other illegal activities, which would lead to violation of human rights. The government of Manipur, in consultation with the Union Ministry of Home Affairs, shall take up necessary action against the militant groups belonging to both communities to prevent any untoward incidents, including their illegal activities and extortions, in order to ensure that human rights of the citizens are protected. Peace in Manipur cannot be restored unless security and human rights of the peoples are provided in the true sense, the MHRC recommendations said. It said, government should also take up necessary action to dismantle all the illegal bunkers and other unauthorized barricades being built and erected, if any, by any unauthorized persons. The Oath Keeper of Kangla, Mr. Sanajaba, his Arambai Tengal and their reign of terror. The ongoing Manipur pogrom against the minority Kukis by the majority Meiteis remains unabated. The pogrom cannot have gone on for this long unless by design and with pre-planned mechanism already in place. Behind the pogrom are various players making it possible for the violence to continue this long. In this series, we will cover the roles of major stakeholders sponsoring the Manipur pogrom. The first article in the series, The Hate Propagandist, and Biren Singh and the Rise of Fascism, was published in yesterday's edition. This is the second article in the series. After Germany's defeat in the First World War, she was made to pay heavy wartime reparations to the victors through the Treaty of Versailles and was forced to heavily demilitarize. Her economy was heavily hit as a result of both the war effort and the reparations. This grim atmosphere fostered a section of the German population who harbored deep-rooted resentment. The Great Depression, 1929 to 1939, dealt another blow to the already weakened German economy. As a result, the Nazi Party, which started out as a small party on the radical right of the German political spectrum, soon inducted swathes of the disenchanted, disaffected, disillusioned and restive youth into its ranks. The young, gullible and misguided youths soon swallowed the rhetoric of its leaders like Hitler. The Nazis pledged to restore German cultural values, reverse the provisions of the Treaty of Versailles, turn back the perceived threat of a communist uprising, create a Lebensraum, a living space, for the Germans at the expense of other nation-states and restore Germany to its rightful position as a world power. Hitler and other Nazi propagandists were highly successful in directing the population's anger and fear against the Jews and the communists. What followed soon after was the Second World War and the extermination of 6 million Jews as a result of Hitler and the Nazi Party's radical, communal, expansionist policies. Something very similar happened in Manipur. Since its integration into the Union of India, Manipur has always harbored a section of radicals who view the Manipur Merger Agreement of 1949 as a betrayal, thus giving birth to many insurgent outfits, all of whose overarching ideology has been to reclaim Manipur's independence from India and who are till today constantly waging a secessionist war against India. More recently, a wave of nationalism riding on the same radicalism has been on the rise outside of these proscribed underground outfits with the aim to restore the glory of Thingkho Le Malcha, restore Meitei cultural values through the revival of their ancient pre-Hindu religion Sanamahism, to fight the perceived threat coming from the tribals of Manipur and create a Lebensraum of their own by grabbing tribal lands. Most prominent are the Meitei Lipun and the more militant Arambai Tengal, which derives its name from the dart-wielding cavalry of the erstwhile Thingkho Le Malcha kingdom. They have been documented as being patronized by the current Chief Minister of Manipur N. Biren Singh and Manipur's titular king Laishemba Sanajaba, who is also the current Rajya Sabha MP of Manipur, both from the ruling BJP party. These two men have been fostering such groups, nurturing them with their radical right-wing ideology, playing up their past glory and in particular instilling in them a hate for the indigenous Kukizos, projecting them as a threat to the Meitei's very existence by using every imaginable excuse to vilify the Kukizos. Dressed in their black t-shirts, combat cargo pants and boots with the image of the Thingkho Le Malcha cavalry stenciled on their back in blood red, this group had been making waves only recently, conducting large, gang-style inductions of new, radicalized and indoctrinated members, training in combat, organizing large, boisterous and belligerent rallies in the valley and making a few excursions into the hills on the pretext of social outings. Such groups do not come out of nowhere, and their rise to prominence coinciding with the rise of N. Biren Singh is telling. Also equally telling is the rise to prominence itself of Manipur's titular king Laishemba Sanajaba, who until he was chosen by the BJP in 2020 to run an election for the state's lone Rajya Sabha seat, which he won, remained uninvolved in politics, remaining just a symbolic and spiritual head of many ritualistic traditions of the old Manipur kingdom. At this time, N. Biren Singh had been in the chief minister's seat for a good couple of years. That under him, his party would pick the titular king, who until then had been only a symbolic institution, and throw him into prominence in the politics of Manipur is not by chance. While the common people were quite taken aback by his decision to contest the MP elections and many Meitei CSOs raised their objections to it, considering it a huge step down from his title and both a capitulation and sort of resigned acceptance of Manipur's merger into the Indian Union, which many still considered an ongoing, unresolved issue, the higher powers under N. Biren Singh were fully aware of the potential implications of this move. The titular king could now come to the forefront of Biren's larger plan of Meitei revival. Now with actual powers, there is no post or provision of titular king under the government of either the Indian Union or the state. The constitution under Article 18 abolishes all titles except military or academic. There is a design involved in choosing a man who commands a substantial following among those still nostalgic about the bygone era and the old ways of Sanamahism and seek a revivalism of the same. Biren would now have political control as well as emotional control of the Meitei populace through their emotional ties to the titular king, laying the ground for a more exclusivist, Meitei-centric Thingkho Le Malcha. The following year in 2021, for the first time in Manipur's history, an incumbent CM was sworn in as the president of the Laningtha Sanamahi Temple Board, LSTB, the Temple Development Board of Laningtha Sanamahi of the Sanamahi religion. The stage was set for the revival of the old kingdom under two figureheads, one descended from the line of kings and the other a man at the top of the current political dispensation, and under them an army of indoctrinated, radicalized youths, an unholy trinity. With his rise to political power, Sanajaba displayed a change in his persona. The once soft-spoken, demure man became a firebrand of patriotic fervor, championing Thingkho Le Malcha passed vociferously, decrying a perceived change in Manipur's demography via the influx of illegal immigrants, echoing the rhetoric of N. Biren Singh and patronizing the formation of the Arambai Tengals under his leadership, his revival of the king's cavalry. The Arambai Tengals thrived under him, drawing their seeming legitimacy from this restored institution and displaying a fanatic devotion to the idea of pre-merger, pre-Hindu Meitei culture and religion, their drooling ethnic fervor permeating all of Meitei society. On April 2, 2023, a month before the ethnic conflagration, Mr. Sanajaba directly responded to what he perceived as an objectionable remark against their native religion Sanamahism made by T. Ramnanda, a Meitei pastor. Mr. Sanajaba wrote a death threat on his Facebook page which, roughly translated says, "If he, T. Ramnanda, does not apologize, I swear in the name of Abudu Pakamba, their pre-Hindu god in Sanamahism, that I will skin him alive." The erstwhile inactive king had spoken, no longer just a symbolic figurehead but now very much in command of Thingkho Le Malcha's revival with soldiers of his own. And the following day his army of black-clad cavalry stormed the house of the pastor, the old kingdom now very much alive in spirit and in form. It was this established militia that provided the foot soldiers, the coordination for speedy mass mobilization and mob mentality that was so instrumental in the lightning strike and unimaginable brutality against the Kukizos in the capital as well as peripheral villages in the early hours and days of the pogrom, because prior to the unholy trinity, such coordinated, organized, mobilized and massive hatred would never have been in the collective imagining of the public. Multiple accounts from survivors of the pogrom describe these black-clad mob as being the main culprits, as well as videos from the valley itself wherein the Meiteis themselves attest to this are aplenty. And then in the days, weeks and months following the initial attacks, these goons can be seen everywhere where there is an attack on the Kukizo areas. They move about with impunity in the valley areas, their brazen crimes kept beyond the jurisdiction of law and order by the blessings and protection of the two men at the top. There is very little doubt in anyone's mind that the majority, if not the entirety of the arms and ammunition looted from state armories are now in the hands of this militia who seem to have the state in their iron grip. Their much visible and strong presence on June 30, 2023 in the ludicrous drama surrounding the resignation of N. Biren Singh and subsequent flouting of curfews to gather in thousands speaks of deep nexus with the chief minister who has allowed their reign of terror to go unchecked and unpunished. And as the months went by, they now turn on their own people, unleashing a lesser form of terror on people from their own community who do not toe the line. A series on Humanitarian Works 03, Rural Women Upliftment Society, RWUS. About RWUS. Rural Women Upliftment Society, RWUS, is a non-profit indigenous women organization founded in the year 1990 by committed and concerned women belonging to Independent Church of India, ICI. With full autonomy in administration and functioning, RWUS seeks to address the issues and concerns of communities without compromising their unique cultural, social, and religious practices encompassing gender, local capacity for peace and environment as cross-cutting themes. For details, visit our website, www.rwus.org. RWUS envisages to empower communities for justice and development with a mission to support local communities through knowledge building, advocacy and lobby work, networking and alliance building and material supports. Anchored on a mission to empower grassroots communities, RWUS has the following core thematic interventions: gender and governance, gender justice at all levels, food security and livelihood program, environment and natural resources that include clean and renewable energy, humanitarian and relief responses. Since the onset of the ethnic conflict in Manipur on May 3, 2023, RWUS has worked tirelessly to provide essential needs of the IDPs from May 6 till date. So far, RWUS has covered 102 relief camps with 21,063 persons in need of support. Given below are some of the humanitarian responses made by the organization within 5 months. 1. 8,000 bags of rice, 3,500 bags of dal, 1,050 packets of fermented fish, 2,000 bags of soya chunks, 12,000 liters of cooking oil distributed in relief camps. 2. Nutritious foods such as meat, milk, sugar, tinned fish, eggs, green leafy vegetables, baby foods to relief camps far away from towns. 3. CGI sheets to 25 camps for room extension, bathroom extension, dining hall and toilet bathroom repairment purposes. Approximately 10,000 packets of sanitary pads and 5,000 packets of baby diapers. 4. Double-sized blankets and mattresses to 650 families. Mosquito net to more than 2,000 families. 1,000 tarpaulins and mats, 2,000 buckets and mugs. Daily essential commodities like toothpaste, toothbrush, soaps, detergents, undergarments etc. to 1,000 families. 5. 24,000 liters of drinking water to 24 camps. Water storage, bright, to 40 camps. Electric water heater to 22 camps. solar lamps to 8 most needed camps. 6. Organized 4 medical health camps, providing free treatment and medicines to 2,000 IDPs. The health camps specifically cater to inmates having problems with gynecology, pediatrics and medicine. Special focus to 270 lactating mothers and pregnant women on healthcare support. 7. Cleanliness and sanitation drives at 67 relief camps and Wall of Remembrance in collaboration with philanthropic organizations and student bodies. 8. Medical support extended to District Hospital, Sealmet Christian Hospital and Kuki Konglai Lampi, KKL. 9. Set up kids' garden schooling for 1,300 children at 50 relief camps with 55 teacher volunteers. Play materials and books for children in most needed camps apart from the kids' schools. 10. Psychosocial counseling to 250 victims of violence. 11. Support to 300 families of home-based IDPs, 50 families of the deceased and 20 families of the injured at Lamka town. 12. Fellowship grant provided to 17 women in the district who ceaselessly work during the current crisis. 13. Financial support extended to relief camps in Bungpai and Hapi areas through IRMA, women organization based in Kangpokpi district. News IN Picture. In line with the motto of Kuki Students Organization, Learn, Unite and Serve, the KSOGHQ and KSO Sadar Hills today carried out a social service by filling potholes along the national highway. The members of KSOGHQ and KSO Sadar Hills took out a yeoman service, improving the road condition and making it easier for motorists flying along the highway. This would also reduce the chance of accident-related cases in the region. Thingkho Le Malcha. Kuki victims update as on October 5, 2023. Death, 143. Villages burned, 200 plus. Houses burned, 7,000 plus. Churches and synagogues burned, 360 plus. Displaced persons, 41,425.